Hi Simmers, thanks so much for coming to my channel. This is Kendra Plays The Sims, and for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the November laundry list and the 150 bug fixes we're actually going to be getting from this update. So if you're interested in what I have to say and see what this update is all about, go ahead and stay tuned. But first things first, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, hype, all of the great things. That way you always see my future content. And let's go ahead and get started. So if you didn't know, about 2 months ago, the Sims team actually put out this quality of life roadmap. So basically they just want to address all of our concerns, and they've been working on these every month. So that's probably what you've been seeing with all of these new updates. But if you see the message on its screen, basically it's saying that the top priority is to provide a fun experience for all players. And basically they're just letting us know that they see all of our feedback on the technical issues and the game performance. So they want to make sure that they're listening to us, providing us with the updates that we need to make sure that our games are clean and we don't have all kind of bug fixes. So I just wanted to point that out first before we kind of get into what I'm going to talk about today, because there's this full roadmap and it also starts off in September. So let's talk about September's update too. So to start off with this roadmap, essentially we started in September, and that happened on September 18th where we got a base game update. So that was right ahead of the Adventure Awaits expansion pack. So every time we have a new kit, a new stuff pack, game pack, expansion pack, you should really expect a new game update. And also in that month, we saw community prioritized fixes. So if you're interested in this, I would definitely get into this and look into the forums and whatnot, because they're investigating and they're resolving issues based on votes. So player upvotes are crucial in prioritizing fixes, and basically the things that have the most upvotes are the things that get fixed. So if you're kind of playing around in the forums, you might see an issue with something that you're experiencing, and if you upvote it, there's a high chance that you may get it resolved. So I would definitely try to go into the forums and, submit problems if you have any, because you never know what's going to get an upvote, and also vote on other people's stuff if you're seeing the same issue. Okay, so moving on from September, I'm going to jump right into November. If you want to look at October's, I'm going to link this whole thing down below so you can kind of see where these fixes are coming from, because I think they take everyone by surprise and people get annoyed by how many updates we have, but they also don't realize why we're getting them. So as you can see, in November, we're actually getting like 150 fixes and freebies for everyone. And that's actually going to happen on November 4th. And it says not only will you see fixes based on your feedback, so remember, always be sure to vote and put out your issues if you have any. But it also says the update will also include some new free content for all players. Now, I'm not sure exactly what that content is going to be, but I just know we're going to get something free. And I kind of talked about this in my last video where I was like, I don't know if they're trying to pacify us a little bit. But now that I'm looking at this roadmap, it seems like they were already intending on giving us this fix anyway and this new free content. So be on the lookout for that. But let's talk about what exactly they're going to give us in November. So the top 5 most voted fixes, like I mentioned before, those are the things that people vote on in the forums. So if you're not in the forums, I would definitely get into them just so your voice can be heard. And as you can see off to the left, it has each of the forums to the side. That way you can look at them and see what people mentioned before. And at the end of this video, I'll talk a little bit more about forums and how they can help you. But the top 5 for November is they identified and resolved some cases of photos turning black in inventory when taken with the camera. The sabotage interaction is no longer available on objects without completing the deviance aspiration. There's some stuff with mixology. The next one is children should now more clearly be able to look like their parents, which is great, because if you ever play with children and you kind of put together the mom and the dad, the kid won't really look like either one of them. So I'm happy that they're kind of playing around more with this feature, and I'm glad they'll actually look like their parents. And lastly, the relationship decay after having a baby was too fast and was destroying relationships, and it has now been slowed. Outside of that, we've gotten a lot of base game fixes, and I decided not to show all of them in this video because there's a whole lot of them on this website. So I'll just link this down in the description, and you can kind of go through and look at those base game fixes if you're wanting to. One of them is the sit up milestone now properly unlocks and displays after traveling. This is a really big one, and I love this one. The Sims won't use their phone when in the water or jogging. I don't know if you've ever noticed when they're jogging, they just pull out their phone and they just start typing for whatever reason. Now they won't do that, which I'm super happy about. Sims will put food, books and drinks into their intended inventories instead of random inventories and stuff like that, like the storage box or the ICYA chest. Random Sims will no longer enter the home without knocking when using sliding doors, which is amazing because if you didn't know, the sliding doors would just open automatically. And that is pretty annoying. So those are the top 5 and the base game. But outside of that, we also got some things affecting multiple packs. So they've really decided to dig in and not just do base game in the top 5 fixes, but also get into each of these packs. It's so many on this website. Like, I'm not going to go through all of them because that would be a long video, but it seems like they're really getting into all the different expansion packs, game packs, and whatnot. So I'll go through a couple of each. In the expansion packs, we have some from Adventure Awaits, like adding a curtain rod for modular curtains. Skills can no longer be decreased in university. So some of these packs are like overlapping too. So it just depends on what you're playing and what you're reporting. Sometimes it won't make sense to like me, but it might make sense to someone else. So there's some stuff from Adventure Awaits, Enchanted by Nature, Businesses and Hobbies, Life and Death, Love Struck, For Rent, Horse Ranch, Growing Together, Cottage Living, Snowy Escape, High School Years, Eco Lifestyle, Discover University, Island Living, Get Famous, Seasons, Cats and Dogs Get Together, and Get to Work. So I think they're really going into each of these expansion packs and fixing things for all of them, which is amazing because sometimes, you know, things get lost, especially after an expansion pack has been out for a long time. You won't see anything done to it, which is kind of disappointing. So I'm glad they're going in and actually making those fixes. Outside of that, we also have some stuff for game packs. So they're digging into those too. So Home Chef Hustle, if you haven't played that one's actually really fun. But Sims with the glutton trait will no longer autonomously eat prepped ingredients when other foods are available. They're going into werewolves, My Wedding Stories, Dream Home Decorator, Realm of Magic, Parenthood, Dine Out, which I'm really excited about. So Sims can now check off restaurant related goals on a date, which is amazing because a lot of Sims will just stand there or sit there and they won't be able to complete anything. And that's been a complaint of a lot of Simmers for a really long time. And then also with Outdoor Retreat. So then they're also getting into stuff packs. So they're getting into Nifty Knitting, kids room stuff, vintage glamour, and spooky stuff. So I know I just mentioned a lot of different packs, but I'm just trying to let you all know that the Sims team is actually listening to you and they value your opinion and they want to see all of these things fixed for you. That way you have a pleasant experience in your game. So the last thing that I wanted to share with you all is how you can share your issue with the Sims team. So if you have an issue with The Sims 4, you can take a few minutes to visit the EA forums to see if a report thread has already existed for an issue that you're having. And then you can upvote it, of course, if you're having the same issue. That way it can keep getting votes and hopefully get fixed. Or you can complete your own issue. That way it can get voted on or it can get resolved by the Sims team. So I've left those instructions here and I also will pin them down below in the description box as well. That way you can make sure that your issues are always heard. So if you want to do that, just take some time out to kind of review it. I definitely would, just to be on the safe side. So that's all of the laundry items that we're going to be getting. Well, I didn't list all of them. There's 150 of them, so I don't want to go through every single one of them, but I'm going to link them down below. That way you can go and like look in depth of what we're going to get. So also know too, whenever we get these updates, they're not just because they're getting like real fixes from real people that are having real issues. So always just keep up with the forums, keep up with all of the news from the Sims 4 team. That way you're aware. But if you like this video, go ahead and like it. Share it with other people, comment, hype it up, all of the great things. And I look forward to seeing you in some of my future content. Bye.